Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or whatever time zone it is wherever you in the world. It is your Lore Saviour, and today I wish to answer a very interesting and albeit very peculiar question I saw on Blue Sky fairly recently. Are tattoos masquerade breaches, so your vampire characters in Vampire the Masquerade? And my answer is yes, but in only very specific circumstances. Now, why would they be masquerade breaches? Well, tattoos are used in means of identification, for criminals and whatnot, or, the deceased, or you're just trying to find somebody, or, whatever the reason is, you can use tattoos to locate and recognize somebody. Now, some hunters within the Inquisition and beyond would recognize some of these clan logos if they're like jutting out somewhere. But if you are a vampire getting a clan logo tattooed on you, you're fucking stupid and you should go walk in the fucking sun. And regular tattoos as well, as I said, can be used to identify you by those who know who and what you are. Like, it could play into a backstory, as it were. Like, your vampire character killed somebody and now that person's lover or whatever is out for revenge, but they didn't see who you were, but they just see like a star tattoo on your neck or whatever. But more often than not, most people won't give a shit. Like, even if you have "I am a fucking vampire" tattooed on your fucking forehead, no one is going to think any differently. If you've got the Anarch logo on your cheek, people just think that you're just an anarchist and just got the symbol the wrong way round. If you have the Nosferatu logo tattooed on your boobie, then you're just a weird theatre kid, I don't know. But tattoos are not, by their inherent nature, masquerade breaches. And I saw quite a few people arguing in the case of this on this Blue Sky post. But admittedly, there were more that were against it, but there were still some people that were thinking, why is that? And I actually think, as kind of old-fashioned I may sound here, it's a little antagonistic for those who have tattoos. Like, are we still living in this age where if you have a tattoo or tattoos, you're sort of like mean, lean gangster that can't be trusted? Grow up. That's honestly saying like, oh, they wear a biker jacket and boots, they're clearly an anarch, or they wear a suit, so they have to be Camarilla. I mean, sure, stereotypes and whatnot exist, but if you literally look at any By Night City book, you can find loads of examples that break all those different molds. Like, look at Damien. Damien from Chicago by Night, that is, looks like your very traditional anarch, age and all that, but he's the fucking sheriff. And he was pretty loyal to the Camarilla cause prior to that, with first and second edition. There's sure a whole load of other political reasons why Damien has been put in that position, but he is still pretty loyal to the Camarilla. Like, and there are other fucking anarchs who go against the stereotypical dress code, as it were. Just stereotypes can only take you so far. And again, I think that's a slightly antagonistic mindset, that, oh, you have a tattoo, you're one of the bad guys, as it were. It's just a bit silly. You're not going to be recognised as a vampire by what you wear. It's through people knowing what you are. Like, using that example earlier on with the specific backstory thing. Oh, I recognise that person who sucked off my wife dry. They've got that tattoo on it, and it's them, and that's the vampire. So it's not so much the tattoo itself, it's more that the person knows what you are. And I think if you have a games master that has the attitude of, oh, all tattoos and other forms of markings of masquerade breaches, I think you should jump ship so you actually have a fun time with the character that you want to fucking create, Like, where would that stop next? Glasses? Piercings? I just think it's a bit fucking weird, to be honest. Like, as I said, there's some very specific circumstances, but again, it's not to do with the tattoo itself, it's to do with the person in question, that they have something that you can identify them with. Certain hair colour, glasses, tattoos, it's just, I don't think that by themselves they are masquerade breaches. But Lore, I hear some of you ask, what about thaumaturgy and thaumaturgical rituals and runes and the rest of it? Well, again, those don't automatically make you a vampire. If somebody sees that shit inscribed on you, on the walls or the ceilings or whatever, people think you're just going to be a fucking weirdo, let's be honest here, and you shouldn't be really trusted in society. It does not automatically make you a vampire. Even if you write a fucking diary about you being a vampire, people just think you're fucking mad. Now again, certain people and organisations knows what all of this means. That's what makes you the vampire, the context. You and I, we'd see that fucking shit and think they should be locked up. It doesn't make them a vampire, mate. Calm down. Like, even if you go out there and film somebody sucking somebody off in the street, you just think they're going to be in some real fucking kinky shit. And honestly, if you saw half the shit that happens to vampires, you're not going to film it, are you? You're going to get the fuck out of there. And if you're stupid, you'll go and investigate. You know, or some people would probably call the police as well after the fact. It's a very interesting thing with Vampire the Masquerade, and how it pushes like technology as the bane of all existence. Yeah, you have some people that film it, and I know that media likes to push, just whip out the phone and just film things on TikTok all the time, but that's not what every single person is going to be doing. You see a vampire sucking off somebody, you're just going to get the fuck out of there. And even if you did have the brains to film it all, you'll probably do it at such a distance that by the time you've gotten to safety, they've packed up and left. Let's be real here. And even if you are the sort of vampire that is going out of their way to upload things online for a community, you're still going to get one of two reactions. You're either going to get people saying that it's fake CGI and will enjoy or hate it because of that, or you're going to get people that are aroused and turn on by it because they're weird kinky fucks, or they just like fucking snuff shit. Not that I've ever met anybody that's like that, but there are about 8 billion people in this world, and that shit does exist. And the fact that I've said it means it probably does exist in some form or another. It doesn't automatically mean that you're going to get shut down. And be honest, nobody plays Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition the way that the book is laid out. Everybody uses phones. The SI rarely comes up as a threat. It's a bit weird, that, isn't it? One of its key features is that vampires don't use phones anymore, and yet everybody uses phones and computers. You always have that one hacker and tech person in the group, so people are going to bend the rules anyway. And the even more funny thing is, actually talking about, I've just remembered, there's a bit in 5th edition that I've never seen anyone use, ever. And that's the fact that vampires these days communicate with street signs, like, graffiti and whatnot. Now, I'm surprised it took them that long to come up with that idea. So if you want proof that fucking ink on surface is a masquerade breach, there you fucking go. And also it's proof about where it isn't a masquerade breach, because it's just gang signs, innit? So yeah, that's kind of what I think about all of it. Like, the masquerade is totally subjective. And that is my rambling 2 cents on it. And clearly, because I am wearing sunglasses in the middle of winter, the SI are now after me, because clearly that's a sort of a masquerade breach. Or is it not? You let me know in the comments below, as well as all the other things you consider to be masquerade breaches beyond the obvious in the comments below. Like, how far do you extend your masquerade? Do you think tattoos are, or a case-by-case scenario? Or I just want to hear it. Let's just build a pool of ideas for people to borrow, pinch, and steal. To paraphrase a particular WWE wrestler, God bless his soul, if you know what I mean. If you do, that's great. If you don't, that's also fantastic. Anywho, whilst you're down there letting me know all the different ways you employ the masquerade and discussing whether tattoos and the like are considered masquerade breaches in your games, you can also purchase a whole variety of Vampire the Masquerade books in the description below. You do so with those links, I get some of the money back because I'm an affiliate on DriveThruRPG, and I get a very small slice of that financial pie, so I can do awesome content like this and other cool things that you've taken a liking to recently. Now, I know times are hard and all of that, so if you can't do that, that's absolutely fine. But if you can, that'd be fantastic. But what you can do regardless is like, share and subscribe to all that I do, and I'll see you on the next upload, wherever that may well be for you. Until next time, farewell.